challenges of having this space is that it's a pretty well-known gallery, and consistently having good shows in it is a challenge. It's not too much of a challenge, not necessarily too much of a challenge, because there are a lot of talented artists in Cincinnati, but just the organization of it and like the planning of it.
Lily Mulberry was excited about having a spot to highlight up-and-coming folks, and I think a lot of that energy also came from the fact that she herself had just gotten out of school, and she was interested in making her own opportunities. And so when she saw this space, I think it all kind of clicked together. It's like, if I'm going to show work, I'm going to make a place to show work. I'm not going to wait to find a place to make that happen. And so from that first show, she kept asking friends and other, I guess, fellow recently graduated students that then became contemporaries and colleagues, and then there were definitely some other folks coming in from out of town. I had a solo show here, one of the last shows she was involved with or part of before unfortunately succumbing to Hodgkin's disease. But even after her diagnosis, she wanted to keep the gallery going.
And that was kind of the exciting thing about it, was to carry forward what she started in probably the best way possible, which was just to keep going and not to just turn it into a few shows in memory of what she had done, but as a continuing operation of what she had done.
For most of the year, it is all about finding these folks of this high caliber work, but also then pushing boundaries on content and ideas. But for the sale and keeping the lights on and keeping the doors open, we have the Yuletide, which is 2 months of pretty much craft, and it's a cash and carry type of a situation. But what always was really rich is that it wasn't just stuff. It was also seeking out folks that have a volume of work that's really intriguing, but also it's highly crafted pieces. If it's jewelry down to magnets, or if it's found elements for a Christmas tree, or nicely made wooden boxes, or interesting T-shirts, prints. And it was always about kind of trying to find something that was well made. But in the Yuletide, it's about then well made that's affordable.
We've all done a really good job of kind of sharing the burden, sharing the responsibility, sharing the fun, and it works out really well. Basically, we all handle 2 or 3 months of the year. We handle the gallery for those months. We take on most of the responsibility, most of the work, most of the planning. And so therefore, the other 3 of us get to have that month off where we're really only showing up for Final Friday and helping out with the Final Friday gallery opening, helping out with these sales then. It's great to have it build through the month. It opens on Final Friday, and then you kind of coast back down through the rest of the month until you deinstall the show, typically the Sunday before the next Final Friday. So it's got a really nice kind of rhythm to the year, where you have 2 months you do that, and the rest of the year you don't.
With as many people as involved, we've been finding out better how to use the number of people involved as a strength, as opposed to perhaps not utilizing what can be kind of divided and conquered. Our first real fundraiser was just this last week, and we asked a number of artists to paint ice cream cones. The ice cream cones were made out of a prefab bisque material, so it's clay, and then it's pretty much at flower pot consistency, so everybody was able to then do different types of things to the surface. So they want to do traditional glazing or traditional painting.
In 2007, without this place, I wouldn't have probably had the path that I went down. So I think it's important to find younger artists or mid-career artists that need to have a little bit more exposure, because I think it's pretty hard to find a gallery that will do that. And I think being an artist that's reached out to by a gallery is kind of a big complement to their work.
It's been exciting just to talk to Bill and Michael and Melanie about all these possibilities, like if the gallery being a laboratory, the gallery being a performance venue, the gallery having these other live elements going on. That though does make me, reminds me though that Lily concentrated on art, and it was about the visual art was the most important thing. I think it's still going to be about the space, is going to be about the art, always being in the spotlight.
1305 is like almost all the other galleries down here, that they really represent people putting their free time and their extra effort into something. You know, none of us will ever make a penny off of this place. It's never been about that. And I think for the vast majority of galleries that are down here, and almost even the vast majority of storefronts that are down here, they're really in it for the sense of place, the sense of purpose, the expression of their interests, the expression of their greater interests in life, and to be able to have a actual place where you can express those interests is a really great opportunity, I think. I know I view it that way, and I think everybody else who's involved in anything on Main Street of a similar nature, I think that's how they view it. I mean, you kind of have to, because it's a lot of long hours sometimes, and it's very little reward most of the time. But people just love doing it, so so it gets done anyway.
Yes, he gets